Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski and we are here with our wonderful, fabulous, wanna do it travel show. When we have our friend Kathy Janes here. Kathy, thank you for being here from Class Act Travel in Worth. And she always brings a wonderful guest, and today we have Katy Cannizzaro.
Yes, great.
Who's the strategic account manager for Royal Caribbean. First of all, thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks for having us.
And Kathy, thanks for bringing Katy here. Class Act Travel, I just want to start the program with that's where you can easily find and go to. It's right in Worth,
Correct.
111th Street.
Correct. 111th and Worth Avenue. We're on the corner. We have been there, knock on wood, 25 years. We're very proud of that, to have lasted this long. So, yeah, we can help you do sailing on Royal Caribbean.
Right, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because Royal Caribbean, I think you've seen the commercials on TV. I just look at them and, my tongue is hanging out, because I have been on the Royal Caribbean ships, a couple of them, and they're pretty great. And Katy is going to tell us about these big ships, which I was lucky enough to be on one of these really huge ships, which some people feel is intimidating, but it isn't.
No, not at all.
It's just wonderful. So, Katy, tell us, what about the big ships? What kind of ships are they? What do they have on them that makes it so great?
Thank you. They're wonderful ships. There's 3 of them right now. They are the Oasis class ships, and they hold 5,600 guests. There's 2,300 crew members there to make those 5,600 guests feel right at home and have a wonderful vacation experience. We're really the innovators, I think, in the cruise industry. We were the first to come out with the rock climbing wall, and let's get beyond shuffleboard and come up with some great things for families to do.
Yeah.
Yes. So these ships, there are, as I said, 3 of them. And the first place you could begin is our wonderful, amazing Aqua Theater, where you could see a show. It holds 700 people, and you can see a show where the trapeze artists are diving down into this tiny little pool, and they're swimming underwater, and it's just unbelievable. The entertainment is unparalleled, I think, on our ships. You can see Grease, a full Broadway show. We have ice skating rinks where you can skate during the day, or in the evening you can see a fabulous kind of ice capades type of show as well. The comedian, all types of restaurants and bars you can go to, and lots of sports activities. So there's wave rider machines, zip lining.
Zip lining. I was just going to say zip lining.
The best thing about zip lining is automatically you think, teenagers. Yeah. Well, I sat there one afternoon, and the average age of the zip liner is probably 65 to 75 years old. I just sat and watched them having the time of their life. They zip line over 10 stories on the inside of the ship.
Wow.
It's unreal. And all this is complimentary. All these activities are included in their cruise.
Wow, now that is amazing. So when you're on the ship, if people haven't been there on a ship, and I have had people say, well, all you do is just sit there and eat. And
well, you can do that too. A lot of people go on the cruise just for that reason. And the food is amazing.
But, there's a lot more to do than go to eat, and also then your ports of call that you go to, and that makes the adventure even better.
Yes.
Now, on these ships, then, they all go somewhere else, like the Oasis class ship. Do they follow the same route?
Yeah,
Where
so
are they
these
going?
3 ships, because of their size, really are in the Caribbean. And they're going out of Fort Lauderdale. We are building a new port in Miami to hold the 4th of this ship, which will be the Symphony of the Seas, which is being built right now. And it's 230,000 tons, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than the Harmony. And then that will debut in Europe, which is hard to believe that kind of ship can go to Europe.
Yeah.
But it will be there for 2018 in the Europe season. So I think that's perfect for the family that wants to see Europe. They can go to different ports of call and not have to unpack their suitcase. The kids are occupied and having a great time. And then it will come over and do Florida. So they're going southern, and it's Eastern and Western Caribbean. They alternate these 3 ships.
Eastern
soon to be
and
4.
Western.
Yes.
Okay. Now you mentioned you can unpack. I think that is one really great thing. I know that sounds so small, but if you're traveling like in Europe or somewhere, and you're packing up your suitcase every day or every other day, it's annoying.
It's a pain in the butt. It really is. Well, it is, yeah.
So, this way, you unpack, you're just done, it's your room, it's comfortable, your things are there,
And you can get a little taste, in Europe, a little taste of these different countries, and especially in the Caribbean too, because when you go and visit an all-inclusive, maybe you're in, Cozumel for 4, 5, 7, 6, 7 days. On a cruise, you can kind of get a taste of each of the islands and decide maybe which one you'd want to go back to and spend more time in. But it is kind of a nice way to see the Caribbean.
It is.
Or Europe, or Alaska.
Alaska's another one. The other thing I was going to say, tell everyone about the balcony cabins that you have, the ones that look on like Central Park, and then the ones that look on the ocean, because that's a little confusing to explain.
That is confusing.
Yeah, it's hard to explain
that is a
that part.
nice cabin for families. So so these ships have 7 neighborhoods, and I call them nooks and crannies, but marketing likes us to call them 7 neighborhoods. But I think that's the key to what makes you not realize 5,600 guests are on this ship as well. So we have a Central Park area, which is great. That's where the Aqua Theater is that I talked about. There's also Johnny Rockets and a hot dog stand and a margarita place, and then there's a merry-go-round. And in there, you can there are staterooms that overlook this neighborhood that have a balcony, and on top it is open to the sky.
Outside,
so you have natural light. That's a lot of what people want.
Yeah.
They want natural light on a ship, but maybe they don't have the budget for an ocean view balcony.
Right.
So these are called our neighborhood balconies. One's listed over the boardwalk, and the others are located over Central Park, which is where we have some cafes and music and trees and birds, which sometimes I think we pipe in the bird sound. But it's there, and so people enjoy opening their veranda, their doors to their balcony and listening to the birds chirping in the trees below them.
I'm in the middle of the ocean. How am I listening to birds chirping?
Yes.
Yeah, but that is a nice thing. And you're right. I think the complaints that people may have about such a huge ship, 5,600 people plus 2,300 crew members, that is like a small town.
It is.
Even kind of a medium town,
Right.
that you're traveling around with. So you think, well, how's that going to work with all those people? But it does, because you have all these little nooks and crannies, like you want to say, places to go.
Yes. So there's always something going on. Even Grease, the wonderful Broadway show we have on the Harmony, will be at 4 o'clock. And maybe at 8 o'clock, so there's just things that you can do all day long so that you don't notice that everyone else is there too.
Right, because there's so many places to go, things to do.
Then you even have the ocean view balconies.
Yes, so
that's
you have
on the other side.
many. These new ships, in the last 10 years, really focus on ocean view balconies, because that's what our guests and families want. And we have lots of suites on these ships for your, a higher guest that would like to have a little more intimate experience and have a little more service. So we have genies, royal genies, in our star class suites.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
And the royal genie,
kind of like a butler, only it's a royal genie.
They make magic happen for you.
Can I rub the lamp and see what happens?
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so they'll take care of a guest in one of our star class suites starting 2 weeks prior to the cruise. Really, anything they need.
So, really, you can have an inside cabin, probably, which is a little more affordable.
Yes.
Or you can go full throttle and get
all
your
the
genie.
way, yes.
Okay.
So it's really a vacation experience for everyone.
Definitely. Okay, so when you get into, say you pick to go to the Eastern Caribbean or whatever, and you're going to different islands, are there things for the passengers to do once they disembark off the
Oh yes, we
ship?
offer a wide variety of shore excursions that they can pre-book, or they can book once they get on board, and we kind of time them so that you're not noticing 5,600 passengers, getting off the ship. But everything from swimming with the dolphins to like a little tour experience on a bus, or a beach experience, or there's a lot of pontoon boats. They can go out and have a sunset cruise with drinks. And they're also coded by activity level, because I know that's important to some guests.
Oh, absolutely.
Hiking, or
How
climbing the
strenuous is this?
falls
Yes,
in Jamaica,
Right.
and so on. Yes, so strenuous. Yes.
The other thing that we try and stress a lot too is to have all of the guests book their shore excursions through the cruise line, for a couple of reasons. The cruise line will know where they're at, because they have signed up for this excursion. The cruise line knows they're on this excursion. If they find someone on the shore to do this, the cruise line has no idea where you're at. If something happens where this vehicle that they're in breaks down, they can't get back, the ship doesn't know where you are. The ship can't sit there and wait. It has to go, because there's more coming in all the time.
There's no schedule.
Even though they might be a little bit cheaper with the guys on shore, I try and stress to everybody, please use a cruise line. They know where you're at.
We do. We really keep track of passengers.
Yes, you know where they're at because you have to put your card in the machine when you get off.
Oh, right.
And then they know. And then when you get back on board, it's put back in the machine. So now everybody knows, okay.
You checked in, you checked out.
Yeah, Sue's back on
Right.
board. So we can, everything's fine.
Right.
I don't like the idea of booking other than with the cruise line. I think that's the smartest way for people to go,
I
to be
do
very
too.
honest with you on that.
Yeah.
And I just think the guests will feel more comfortable knowing they're on a Royal Caribbean shore
Exactly.
excursion,
Well,
that we know where they are.
Yeah, right. And I agree with that too because, I'm sorry, yeah, they're shady characters and you just don't know what you would end up
Right.
getting off the pier. I feel better that with those guys, you know who they are, you know where you're going, and they are in constant contact with the ship in case there would be a problem. It's protected.
Well, and they're affiliated with the cruise line.
Yes.
Yes.
you've
I mean,
kind
they
of-
are third party, but
Right,
we go out
right,
and
right.
we partner with them.
Right.
And I think it's important. I've been in Bermuda when there's a hurricane coming.
Oh, my.
And so we had to call all the shore excursions in, and it just works like magic.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we had all the lifeguards on the beach for those that didn't book through us saying, get back to the ship,
Hurry.
get back to the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Oh.
ship got out just in time.
Before
Wow.
it came, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, all of these, is there like a more optimal time to be, like, say, in the Caribbean, or that's kind of year round? I mean, you mentioned hurricane. I know there's a hurricane season. Does that make a big difference to the cruise ships?
Well, you can look at that in two ways. Yes, so the hurricane season is starting now, right? Isn't it? Or it's July 1st is the
Well,
true,
it's,
but
it's supposed to, it says according to the Weather Channel, they start in June and run until November. But if you ever look at it,
warm ocean, so it's more August, September.
it is. It's September, middle of October is where it peaks, and you
Yes.
can always see that. And that is the time that, yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, you can't say you're going to have one for sure.
No, but
it is a
But the
possibility at that
benefit
time.
of doing it on a cruise is that's your best prices year round.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be September. People always ask me that. When is the best time to go on a cruise? September, October, because you're going to get. The crowds are kind of gone. The temperatures are coming down, especially in the Caribbean, and you're going to get great fares and great deals. But not only because of hurricane season, but children are back in school.
Right.
That's
And
the
so
other thing,
I'm
yeah.
pulling my kids out September 9th, and we're going. I don't. I want the good deal.
Sure.
But with the ship, with being on a cruise in a hurricane, like exactly what happened to us in Bermuda, the ship can move. Your resort cannot move.
Oh, that's so true. You're
so
right.
the ship can move,
Yeah.
and we stay out of the hurricanes, and we'll go to different ports. I've been on, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, we can't go to Nassau, but we're going to Freeport on the other side."
Yeah,
because there's a storm there.
Right.
So that is the benefit.
That makes sense.
So that the ships do stay away from the hurricanes.
Okay, and then so that's the best time economically to go.
Yes.
But just for your own adventure, what is the best time to go on a cruise?
Well, I guess it depends where you're going. Alaska, is a season, so it's only May through October. Once again, May and October is going to have the best pricing for you.
Because it's the coldest.
Because
yet.
it's the coldest.
It's still cold. Yes.
But I went in May and it was fine. Alaska was beautiful. Just dress in your layers. And Europe too. Europe is seasonal. So, but the best time really I do for the Caribbean is the fall because of the temperatures. Don't you agree?
I agree.
And the crowds.
I agree. Yes, absolutely.
That-
I mean,
that's-
January, February, if you live in Chicago, that's the best time to go to the Caribbean because
I was just
we
gonna
have
say that. That's-
terrible
yeah.
winters and everybody
Wanna
wants to get
out of Dodge. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good time.
so now if you want to do this, we mentioned that there are accessible seas, like where someone who's physically impaired can't get around as well. There are things that they can get a hold of there that can make their trip better.
Yes.
I found a company a few years ago, and it's called Special Needs at Sea. And what this company does is they rent scooters, they rent wheelchairs, and they will bring that to the ship, put it in your cabin. At the end of the cruise, you leave it in the cabin, they'll come and pick it up. This is a very reasonable way to do it. I just had a gentleman do it on Venture of the Seas out of San Juan. They just came back like earlier in June. And it was like $150 for the entire time.
That's amazing.
And it was marvelous. He just loved it. He said it was the best way for him to go.
Yeah, they don't have
so-
to take it on the plane.
They don't
or
have
worry
to
about
deal with it,
checking
right.
it.
Yeah.
So
So
they
don't
could
they-
get wheelchair service in the airport complimentary.
Correct, but
so it's
so
a
on the
great way to
ship,
go.
it's just that they get this. It's put in their room, and it's. He had the scooter, the like the electric one. It was great. They just thought that was the best thing for them to do. His legs he was having all kinds of trouble with his legs and whatnot, but it was well worth the money. They will ask how much you weigh, sorry, but that depends on
And
the
how
size.
tall.
Yeah, and how tall, yeah.
You want to make sure you
Because they have
want
to
get
know
the correct
what
size.
size
to get.
Yeah.
Well, so that makes it possible for those of you who think maybe the cruise line ship isn't, something you can do. You can do it. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit is the foods, because nowadays people do have a lot of dietary issues.
Yes, you're right.
And they go on, they like, well, I can't eat that and this and that, and there's all kinds of restaurants and good food there, and they feel like they can't have that. Is there some accommodations made for
Yes,
people
absolutely.
with
We
diet
accommodate
needs?
everything.
Yeah.
We accommodate all food allergies. We accommodate religious or special diets. And Kathy would use your travel agent to book that and take care of that with us. And then our chefs know. And it's from start to finish. Even in the dining room, I had a family who went on and their daughter was gluten-free. And you don't want to raise awareness to her.
No.
The waiter already knew.
Yeah.
It was all set and ready.
Nice.
And she just had, everything was done special for her and she didn't even realize.
And that's
you
great.
know.
That is super.
And it all comes back to the travel agent taking care of it, pre-cruise, dairy issues, as I said, special ethnic diets. We have a large group going that we've done the halal diet for. We're bringing special meats on board just for this group, complimentary.
So if you know ahead of time, I guess that's what Katie's saying is you need to know, talk to your travel agent.
Well, make us aware.
Make you aware.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why it's nice to connect with somebody like Kathy, who can then make that connection with the cruise line and make sure that you get what you need.
Because then we can let them know and we can make sure everything is handled the way it needs to be for these people with special diet needs and whatnot. But if you let us know, we can do this. It's an easy thing to do. We can take care of it for you, and it makes your trip a little bit more exciting and fun.
Yes.
That you know that's going to be done, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yes, that is great.
Especially families with food allergies. It's such a hard
hassle.
thing for them and a hassle, and it
Yes.
makes it easy.
Yeah.
But even just for the guest who simply wants to watch their diet and be carb-free or gluten-free, there's whole sections of our menu that are geared to dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free that you don't even have to let them know ahead of time.
Just order
and
that.
And then when you go into the wonderful Windjammer, there's a whole section of gluten-free things.
Oh, that's awesome.
And sugar-free for diabetes.
That's
just if you're not diabetic, don't try those desserts because
They're terrible. They're terrible, yeah.
I always get the sugar-free by accident. I'm like, this cookie tastes a little off. No, it's still very good.
But it's just a very important thing, and I think it puts everybody's mind at ease and something like that too.
It does,
that
because
they're very-
allergies are.
Yeah.
And I feel some families don't even, are scared to go on vacation
Oh,
because
sure.
of just
What
that
are we gonna
small
have?
piece of
Right.
gluten. Their child could be sick for the whole cruise. So we really take care of that.
That's great. The other thing that we were mentioning before we got started was that the cruise line is autism friendly. And I'd like you to explain to our viewers what exactly does that mean?
Sure. So our cruise line is autism friendly, and it's part of our Accessible at Seas program that your travel agent as well, Kathy, could walk you through exactly what we do. We have a questionnaire for the family to fill out, so it's either the adult or child that might have autism or be on the spectrum, and really from start to finish, they have special boarding. A lot of families I feel think, oh, we could never go on vacation or go on a cruise because crowds or noise, might send a trigger. But we really take care of that for them and make sure that they have an experience that suits the needs of their child or their adult that they're bringing that might suffer from this. So it starts with priority check-in, starts with the cabin, the stateroom would have anything that might do triggers would be taken out. We have autism channel 24 hours a day. We have a wonderful children's program, and so if they, we can, so special things will be accommodated through our Adventure Ocean program for those under 18. There will be an autism-friendly movie shown on board, as well as a section for the shows if they did want to go to the show that might not have as much light or noise and so on.
Or people.
Right.
Or people
Yes,
around them
yes.
too. Yeah, where they feel a little more comfortable.
That's good to know too, and you can let Kathy know that this is something you want to think about to make that trip doable for your family. That is a wonderful thing. Now I want to go back to just these big ships for a minute. I want to specifically, what are the names of those ships so that we can, if you really want that experience on that new ship, you can get that.
So the Oasis of the Seas, which is the original, is out of Port Canaveral, which is a wonderful flight from the Midwest. Easy to get to Orlando. Very easy, Southwest here, right out of Midway. And then it's about a 45-minute ride to the pier in Port Cannizzaro, which would be on the ocean. So that's the Oasis doing a 7-night, Eastern or Western Caribbean. And then the Allure and the brand new Harmony that just came in November of last year are both in Fort Lauderdale, doing a 7-night Eastern or Western Caribbean. And then the Symphony of the Seas, the newest one, is what we talked about earlier, which will be available in Europe. I think the first sailing is May 6th. So May 6th of 18, if you'd love to go to Europe, that's such a great, great ship for families. And then the ship will come over and go do a transatlantic, which people love transatlantic cruises.
Because it's a repositioning cruise, and they're more reasonable for those.
Reasonable.
Oh yeah, they are. They're much more reasonable, and it's a repositioning, and you still get to go to the port, you still get to do the things, but it's a much cheaper cruise to do when they do repositioning, because they're going to bring the ship across anyway, so they're willing to sell the cabins at a more reasonable price because that's just
the ship's
extra
going to
money.
go, yeah. So
Yeah,
the ship's
it
going
has to go anyway.
Over to Fort Lauderdale, or actually Miami. The Symphony, we're building a new pier in Miami for the Symphony.
Wow. All right. Well, those are great chances for you to go.
Yes.
I have one quick question, honey. Sorry. On the Symphony, is it built the same way as the other ones are? With the I call them towers going down with the inside. Is that going to be the same way?
Yes, it's going to be very similar to the Harmony.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sorry,
we'll have the water slides and so on. Yes.
I call it towers. I don't know what else to call
I
that
know,
goes
I
down
wouldn't
this
know
way. I don't know what to call that.
So it will also have the balconies looking over the neighborhoods.
And then on the outside,
it's going to have a bionic bar where you could go have your drink made by a robot, which is very popular. I still prefer the bartender. I like to
I'm sure.
chat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That little personal touch. Yeah. Yeah. I
This
agree.
is the busiest bar on our ships.
Wow.
Is bionic. So the
I guess
Harmony
it's
has
so
it.
weird, you know,
Yes.
and different fun.
And then
It's
the
just something
Symphony will
different.
have it as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of specialty restaurants, which do have a cover charge, but there's still on these big ships more complimentary restaurants than there are restaurants with a cover charge.
Okay.
So you really can if
that's
you
what
want to
I
have
like.
a dining experience and enjoy some of the restaurants, you can, but you can eat every night in our amazing dining room.
Okay. Do they do the same, that you have a special time, like your dining time is 7 o'clock?
Yes, we still have traditional dining. We
Okay.
have both. You can dine at 6 or 8:30, and you have to do that for all 7 nights. You have the same waiter who really gets to know you and
Really do.
delivers
Yeah.
that amazing customer
Yeah.
service that cruises are known for.
Yeah.
And or you could do my time dining for those that don't want to have a set time, don't want their vacation scheduled. They want to kind of go on their own, and that operates very similar to a restaurant. You can make a reservation if you'd like, or you can just walk in and wait.
Okay.
And there might not be a wait.
So you get the best of both worlds,
Right.
whatever you want to do.
You have to choose one or the other.
Yeah. So
before your cruise.
that makes sense. And do they still do the dress for dinner, or is
Yes.
everyone
Yes.
casual
Oh,
all
yes.
the time now?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say it's resort casual most of the time, but there's still a formal night.
Oh, yeah.
And you see everything.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
I
that's
think it's fun.
It's just it's
I
fun.
love the formal
Yeah,
nights.
it's
I do
just to
too.
dress
Fun.
up, and
Yeah.
here I am, and all this stuff.
Yeah. And if you don't want to, like one cruise, my
rhinestones.
husband refused to
Yeah.
bring a sports coat, so I think we just hung out in the casino that night.
Yeah.
You can still go out and enjoy.
Yeah.
The
Good.
last cruise I went on, there were 2 ladies, and I forgot where they came from, but every night they dressed. Every night they had long dresses on, and I was like, how, you have 7 dresses. How did you?
How did you
Oh,
do
we-
that? Yeah.
Goodwill. They went to Goodwill and bought all the dresses from Goodwill, and they wore all these.
that's cute.
Isn't
How
that great?
fun,
I
though.
thought that was just. and
That's
they
old time
loved it.
cruising at its finest. I mean, you
and
really
they
did
were
always
just,
have to dress
They
for
were just
dinner.
all real happy, and they just thought that it was just really cool. It really
It's just
was very
fun.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Cruising is a great vacation experience.
It is wonderful. So call Kathy.
Yes.
Get
Please.
yourself on one of these ships and head out. You're going to have a great time. If she doesn't know, Kathy doesn't know anything, she can call Katy.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Katy will
can.
find out.
We're a good team.
And you can have yourself a great time. And when you watch those commercials like I do, you can be part of that. You don't have to just watch the commercials. You can actually go and enjoy. So that's it. Thanks for watching us. Thank you,
Thank
Katy.
you.
Thank you.
Kathy,
Thank you.
for
Thank
being
you.
here. And we'll see you next time when we travel again. Bye.